Well, hey there, entrepreneurs. Welcome to 30 days of the Canon M50. If you haven't already downloaded the free PDF guide on the first video, that's just about a minute long, make sure you go back to the beginning of the series, get that free PDF on the best settings for video for the Canon M50. But otherwise, let's jump into today's video. So when it comes to silent shooting, this is really neat if you're trying to get candid photos of people and you want to look like you're just looking at stuff in the camera and not really taking a picture, then it's super, super neat. So the Canon M50 does have this feature included. So I want to talk about some of the limitations of it. You know, again, what this is really good for and why maybe they threw it in there. But otherwise, let's jump into it. On the top of the camera or the mode dial, you'll have this feature on there that'll be for scenes and things like that. When you go there, you have to go to that specific feature so that you can activate some of the different scene modes, like, you know, tiny camera or small world, all these other different little settings and scenes that are fun to play with that are in the camera. This is where Canon decided to put this feature for, you know, being able to do silent shooting. Canon pretty much put this camera in a full auto mode, and there's not a lot that you can really adjust. Maybe if you put your camera in manual, as far instead of autofocus, like manual focus, and so you adjust it that way, you can try to get the shots that you want. But for the most part, you are stuck using the automatic settings as if the camera was actually in automatic. So you can't do this in manual mode. You can't really adjust this like you would want to, but it's a nice photo feature, something that they threw in. So that's one of the limitations when it comes to using the M50, is that they maybe put some of the features in, but they adjust it so that you can't get full range of it like you can in some other cameras. For example, like my G85, you can completely customize that camera the way that you want to, and then put the camera in silent mode and continue to shoot silently no matter what settings that you have in the camera. You cannot do that for the M50, so you can't, you know, adjust the shutter speed and the aperture and ISO and all that good stuff. You can't adjust it like you would in a manual mode, but it's there. And once you go to that scene mode, then you can adjust it. So let me show you how to do that. Okay, so when you are at the dial mode at the top of the camera up here, you want to put that onto SCN, or the scene mode, and then you go up here to that top left, and there'll be different options up here like we talked about, where you can do handheld night scenes and all kind of other interesting things, panning and food shots and all kinds of stuff. Well, one of those is the silent mode. So once we go there, then you can see all of the things that we typically would have on the screen for, you know, like shutter speed and all that stuff disappears. The most that we have is to choose a scene mode that we want, autofocus, the drive mode, which is like if you want to do a timer shot. You have if you want to do JPEGs or RAW, but you know, for video, then you can change that if you want to record videos in this mode for whatever reason. But you can adjust the brightness and the darkness that way, but they don't give you any options other than that. So there's no way to for photography mode, like if I wanted to take a picture, there's nothing I can do to adjust, you know, shutter speed, the aperture, the ISO. That's already there, and I can see them down here, shutter speed, the aperture that it's at, and the ISO, but I can't actually change those things. There's nowhere for me to go to be able to adjust that stuff. So if we go back to the regular manual mode, then all of those features are available. But to use that, you'd have to go to the SCN or that scene mode, and all that stuff goes away. So you really can't do much with that. Still going manual focus and adjust it, you know, for shallow depth of field or something like that. But as far as any other settings, you are stuck at the mercy of the camera. But that's the silent shutter feature. So you can at least make some edits to the photo after the fact, but it really limits you for what you can do. And it's pretty much, again, just an auto feature, but it's there if you want to use it. And if you're just getting into cameras and stuff like that, it's pretty neat. And you're probably going to be shooting auto a lot comparative to, you know, somebody else that may use the camera that's more experienced or what have you. But it's not a bad feature, and it's something neat to try out.